Hi there everybody, welcome to the final video in my Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1 video guide and walkthrough for Master Ninja difficulty on this very difficult setting of play. So this is Chapter 18, the Imperial Palace. It's called the Core. As I mentioned in the previous video, you do need to equip the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang right off the bat because they threw you to the dogs right here. In the middle of all these fish. So this is a very difficult chapter, and it's not without its problems, which I will be addressing as I encounter them. But so just clear these clear these fish, and the biggest problem that I want to mention is that there is no store whatsoever from this point right outside the Imperial Palace to the very final boss. Not a single store anywhere. All there is a save point by the final gauntlet with Marbus and a Team Ninja monolith, but no stores. So you have to backtrack to the store out by the elevator where the fiend challenges with the nightmares. You have to go all the way over there. It's extremely inconvenient. I really don't know why they do that. It's so inconsiderate that it's just it's not even funny. It makes me really pissed off. But so before we can enter the palace, we do have to clear some enemies, and we are at the very outset of this video. I was 4 Life of the Gods away from getting an upgrade. So you notice I got one of the Life of the Gods to the right of the save statue. There is another one over here in a treasure box, and then the final 2 that we need are outside of the Imperial Palace. So yeah, so there is so the decent thing about this area is that once you clear these enemies, they don't ever repopulate on the map. It is easy to fall off if you're too close to the edge, or if heaven forbid the pincer fiends jab at you and they throw you off the cliff face. So we're gonna have to be dealing with several waves. There are 4 floors in the Imperial Palace. So right there I got burned. I thought I was gonna go flying off the edge, but I didn't. There are 4 floors of enemies on the Imperial Palace, and what I did was I beat the first floor and went back and saved it, and then I beat the second floor, went back and saved it, and then I just beat the final 2 floors. So this is another Life of the Gods, so we just need 2 more to upgrade our health. So you can, if you really want to, you can backtrack every single time, every time you clear a floor. The big issue about this whole procedure is that you're going to be backtracking quite a bit to restock your inventory, get more money every time, and it would really be nice if there was a store by the Team Ninja monolith on top of the palace, but of course there's not. Of course they have to make it inconvenient for you. I'm just baffled. I'm really baffled why they don't do that. So anyway, you want to head on out this gate, unlock this door here, and you're going to get a cutscene with this ninja, with this fallen ninja. I really like this cutscene, so check it out. It's really cool.
So, you are Ryu Hayabusa. Over the corpses of my Black Spider Clan brethren, I was able to make it this close to the core, but I cannot go on. Though it dishonors me, I give you this. Go to the core. You must reclaim vigor. The equilibrium is collapsing. Master, I have failed. Forgive me.
I really like how this fallen ninja calls him Master. He says, "Master, forgive me." So it's very respectful. This is the route that you need to take every time you're backtracking for money and items. So you just want to head on down the stairs and take a right, and you'll be back at the place where the 120 nightmare challenges, which I still have. So every time I go back there, those guys always pop in, and I'm never going to complete that trial. It's too crazy. But so it's really a hassle to slay these fish every single time. So you gotta slay them before you go through the door, and then when you come back, you gotta slay them again, and then they're on the palace steps all over the place. So it's nice that we have a good strategy to deal with them now, but they keep repopulating every single time. I really like this this effect right here. It rotates, so like it's the Imperial Palace when you're going, and then it's the Evil Palace when you get to the other side. It's really cool. So this is the palace right here, and our goal right there is the topmost area where we're going to be fighting some very difficult waves of enemies.
What will he discover at the end of his journey? Appeasement for his vengeful heart? Or something else? The true battle is only just beginning.
Okay, so some epic words from Mayani there. So this is the first floor, and every time you go to a floor, you'll go forward a bit, and then it'll stop you from interacting with the place where you need to insert all these statues that we've been collecting. So in this room we have the large pincer fiends, and then we have the smaller sliding imps to contend with, and the biggest issue about this whole thing is that after you clear this first wave and you go back and save it, every time you go back into this room, this set of enemies, these guys never spawn. So if you, what I did was I cleared these enemies, I backtracked and saved it, and then I went back into this room, and then the enemies were gone. But it's not the case on the other three rooms. Even though you clear it, they're still going to be there every single fucking time. And even though you don't have to defeat them, they're still in your way, and they make it hard to even open the door to go up to the next set of stairs. So I end up having to drop smoke bombs at one point. It's horrible. It's badly designed. It's poor game design at its finest here. So we're slaying fish on this staircase. I don't risk trying to get the orbs. I don't mind. I think I have a lot of money anyway, so I'm just going to be grinding for money constantly after all these waves of all these floors here. So I did go back and save it, and then after this wave of enemies on the second floor, I also go back and save it, simply because the first time I did this guide. So there's a life of the gods. We just need one more. It's going to be on the next set of stairs. The first time I did this guide, I just went through all these floors, and I just wasn't very practiced on these, so that's why I saved it. It was also one part caution, and then also another part of me just wanting to practice the rooms and make my guide a little bit seem like I knew what I was doing a little bit more. Although some of these rooms starting with floor 3, they get to be just really crazy. So here we have these ogres plus these pincer fiends. We have 2 of these guys that spawn, and I really like to throw arrows at these guys, although it's a lot of the times actually it auto targets the ogres, and obviously their skin is way too thick to even have an arrow pierce it, so it's just futile. You end up wasting arrows. So I bust out the End Labor Flawlessness to do the forward and triangle power technique, coupled with blocking and rolling away. So it's just horrible, and you're really forced into the corner of having to go back down the stairs every time, go back to the store, which is way far away, just because it's just so far away. For God's sakes, why don't they just put a store somewhere? It irks me to no end. It irritates me, but it makes me just shake my head and wonder why. Why be so inconsiderate? So we do have to clear one more floor to actually get the final life of the gods. I misspoke, but there also is another Golden Scarab too. So this third floor is tough. The third and the fourth floors, they have nightmares on them. And this floor up ahead on floor 3, it's just nightmares, but it's not easy because we have 2 at a time. And as you know, whenever you're facing 2 at a time, the one that you're not fighting and not counterattacking is casting the flame circles on the ground. The problem I was having was that I was trying to use Nimpo when the flame circles were appearing to immune myself from getting hit, but I discovered too late that you can't cast Nimpo while you're blocking, and I have the Nimpo assigned to the R2 button, and I was holding block, pressing R2, and it wasn't working, and I quickly found the error of my ways, but I tried to do my best here, and you can really, if you just want to just bypass these rooms really quickly, just drop a ton of Nimpo. That's probably the easiest way to do this, but I wanted to at least try to do this with the best of intentions here. You know, the most forthright way here. So this looks messy, and it was, and it probably will be for you unless you're a pro and better than I am. But you know, I tried to do my absolute best, and the most, what I would say, the most honorable way here of trying to deal with these foes. You know, it's 2-on-1 here, and obviously, you know, you got to keep dodging here. And I just kept this footage in because this is not perfect. I was a little displeased with the end result, but I was satisfied in the fact that I wasn't just spamming the magic, which you can get away with doing if you have enough. You know, if you backtrack every single time and just bring a bunch of Nimpo here, it can be extremely easy for you. So I wasn't even aware that more of these guys are going to pop in, so that's the reason why I was kind of standing there for a moment. So just this is the same thing we've been doing on these nightmares before. We're just I'm blocking, countering, and then you know, don't get comfortable in one spot for too long by any means. Just start rolling away when you feel that you've overstayed your welcome in a certain location. Just roll away twice if necessary if they're casting multiple circles. This is just, it's not easy, and the nightmare count is pretty high, and they're in the next room too, right above us. And the really bad thing is that we need to grab a Golden Scarab, and grabbing that Golden Scarab in the next area in the staircase means that we have to backtrack through this room. So you're going to see exactly what I meant about these rooms respawning. And it makes absolutely no sense that the first room, those enemies, they never spawn. So every time you re-enter this palace, like I mentioned in the first floor, that room, it's totally devoid of enemies. So it just makes no sense that the first room is always cleared after you beat it, but rooms 2 through 4, they repopulate every single time. It makes no sense. And it makes me think that some of these design choices, they were just lazily made at the last second. So try not to engage these fish near the door, because you'll end up interacting with the door, and it's just another irony that you start interacting with the door all the time on places where you don't want to interact with the door while you're doing combat, but when you are trying to desperately try to get into the door and interact with it, the game thinks you're trying to do the combat. Okay, so this is the final life of the gods we need to upgrade our health even more than it already is. So just go ahead and apply all of these orbs, and after you're finished, don't forget that you need to walk off the platform over here to acquire the final Golden Scarab. That is the 50th one, and turning that into Muramasa at that point would give you the Dark Dragon Blade. So there we go. So that's the most health you can possibly have in this game. It would be nice if they filled you up, but they don't. So here's the Golden Scarab, and now since we fell down a floor, we're gonna have to backtrack. The door is right there, though. They put you right in the door. But here is exactly what I was talking about. So you see how these enemies respawned again. This is the third room that I just cleared. I just killed these enemies, and now they're back. It happens on floors 2 through 4. for no reason. And I am struggling to go into the door, or out of the door rather, to get the hell out of this room, but the game is not recognizing that I'm pressing the square button to open the door. It's recognizing that I'm pressing square, but it's using the square button to attack, not open the door. So if you ever run into that predicament, the best thing to do is to use smoke bombs. I cast an info to get that guy off my back a little bit. It didn't help anything. But using a smoke bomb will kind of create a little barrier between you and the enemy, and kind of tell the game that you want to open the door, for God's sakes, and not fight the enemies. It's a technique that I'm implementing just for the first time, and I know it's really late in the game to implement such a strategy, but I really haven't run into that problem much in my guide. Anyway, so now this is where we were when we jumped off, or when we walked off to get the Golden Scarab. So now we're in the fourth room, and they throw everything at you in here. I guess it could be worse. They could also throw those large green, those monster fiends at you. But what you have here is you have a nightmare. I'm not sure if it's more than one nightmare. I think it is. And you also have these sliding imps, whom I would recommend Izuna dropping, just to clear really quickly. And then you have these ogres skulking around the environment, which is circular and has poor camera angles. That is, you can't really see very much around you. And these are all fixed camera angles, by the way, that you can't control. You can't move the right analog stick to move the camera around whatsoever. Not here, and not on the staircases. So don't try that. You'll just be trying it in vain. I have the plasma saber equipped, just because it's similar to the dragon sword. It's actually the same exact weapon, except it has a different look, but it has the same power as the dragon sword at level 4. So I swapped the plasma saber to the Dabalacro now, and I decided to hell with it. I need to clear this ogre, so I cleared him, and now you may have noticed that I was really struggling to move the HUD around to access some of my Devil's Way potions, but it took so long, and since the game doesn't pause and allow me a break to see what I'm actually doing, the nightmare killed me, and I had to use that Talisman of Rebirth. I really wish that they implemented what they do in Sigma 2 in this game, where they pause the game when you access the HUD, because otherwise you just have no time to react, and things are going really crazily. And I probably wouldn't have died if I could have just paused the game screen. I don't like going into the menu because it takes you out of the game and it takes too long. So at this point, it's just one-on-one here, so it's a lot fairer. Just you against this nightmare, and then this is the last room to clear. Although, if you're anything like me, you're going to have to be backtracking to the store where this fiend challenge is with 120 nightmares. You're going to have to do that several times, and you're going to have to try to get past all these enemies every single time, and it's just an extreme hassle. I'm just baffled why they don't put a store at the top of the palace. It's extremely I'm not even laughing. It's just that the game, whoever made this game is laughing ultimately, and the people who have to pay the price are the people who are playing this poorly designed part of the game. A lot of this game is nicely designed, and it works very well. But this is it's sloppy game design. Okay, so these are the final ghost fish whom you need to contend with, and there are quite a few of them on this staircase. And we are heading up to the top of the Imperial Palace, where there is a save point, Team Ninja monolith, 2 treasure boxes, and nothing else. So head on up here to the gates of hell. That's exactly what this is, by the way. So if you haven't tired of fish, here are some more fish for you to slay. They could give you a great spirit elixir in that box. That would be nice. Or this next box. Anyway, there's the monolith you can interact with, and then there's some fish. You're going to notice a little rough edit because I was fighting too closely to the monolith, and it was Yet again, misinterpreting my moves. It was trying to think that I was trying to interact with the monolith when I was slaying the fish. But anyway, after these guys, hit the save statue and prepare for some very difficult times ahead. Okay, so in this portal here we have a long gauntlet. It includes 3 bosses, they're very tough, and we also have pincer fiends in between this phase and Nichi, or Nikke, or however you say her name, and also in between Nichi and Ishtaros. So this is extremely fucking difficult. So get out your unlabored flawlessness and do the red UTs to dispatch these enemies. Using some explosive arrows also. But Nichi, so it was this gauntlet here that pretty much decided my fate earlier when I was doing this guide for the first time. I said to hell with this because this is so difficult that it's not even funny. And I'm not sure if this is the same gauntlet from Very Hard. It seems to me that the gauntlet from hard mode with Hydrocubus carries over to Very Hard, but I just can't remember for the life of me. I've been looking over YouTube for people with Very Hard mode guides to verify it, but no one's doing it. So on Very Hard mode, if that's the case, Hydrocubus is the final boss, but I really don't know. So this seems like it's the only instance where we have Nichi, Ishtaros, and Marbus, since we're on Master Ninja mode. If anyone wants to correct me, please do so, because I cannot remember when I was playing Very Hard mode. So Nichi is a fucking whore. I hate this boss so much. She takes away so much damage from you that you're going to be reeling and begging for your life here. So what I like to do, I tried to fight her with doing the flying swallows, but it just wasn't effective enough. So what I ended up doing is equipping the Dark Dragon Blade and jumping off the wall and hitting her, and it does a really good amount of damage. If you don't have the Dark Dragon Blade, I would recommend trying to do the same technique I'm doing, just use a Dabalacro. I never tested it, but I assume since the weapons are very similar, it would work. The Unlabored Flawlessness doesn't work. I did have a lot of success just using doing the Dragon Sword attack, but the problem with that is that when I did this tactic here, I wasted a lot less items, and I exhausted every single one of my items, including all the little gifts from Ayani, and you're going to be seeing me use the menu quite a bit, because the HUD is it's unacceptable, because there's way too much going on. You need to get on into this battle. I believe I have the Armlet of the Sun equipped just to deal more damage to her when I'm going down on her. So pretty much every battle you're going to need to have different things. It just depends what your preferences are. This is the same boss as Alma, kind of, except that this arena, you might notice that, see how I'm running on thin air there? This is a bubble arena, meaning you can jump off invisible walls here, and I detest this arena with every firmament in my body. I hate it so much. It's fixed camera, and every time I come down on her with a hit, I always drop Nimpo, because I don't want to get grabbed by that tractor beam or by her kick grab. So you see how much damage I incurred there? I think I had to exhaust a Life of the Gods. Let's see what I do. So you see, this is just way too hectic. So I had to go in my menu here, and these extra weapons these extra accessories from Ani. They're very helpful. I'm not depending on the Nimpo to harm her. I am depending on the Nimpo to not get grabbed. That's the basic premise here. So you see I got grabbed. Watch how much this takes away. Look how much that takes away. That's not acceptable. It's way too much to be dealt on any mode. Master Ninja mode, I know this is Master Ninja mode, but no other boss has ever taken that much away. It's just crazy. It's not fair. I would definitely recommend this method. This is a good method. It works. I beat it several times. It's just that when you land after hitting her, make sure you drop Nimpo, because you're likely to get grabbed. So just be very, very liberal with your Nimpo. So I almost got her killed, and one more hit, we got her killed. So it's nice. Now in the third wave, we're going to have more of those sliding imps, Except now the only difference being here is that Marbus throws energy balls at us from time to time. So here's a good opportunity to put back what you need on your arsenal. See, I put the dragon sword, I put the art of the Inazuma, and then for my accessory, I equipped. Well, I didn't equip anything right there. I think I equipped the armlet of the moon. I will be switching afterwards when I'm facing Ishtaros. Then I'm going to be putting the celerity band on. But so all you need to do here is throw exploding arrows and do the Azuna drop. And just whenever this guy chuckles from his throne up there, that means you need to move from where you were currently standing. So this is a listening game, and I apologize if I speak over his chuckles, but that's all you really need to do. Just listen for when he chuckles, and then that's the indication that he's going to throw an energy ball down on you. There are fewer fiends here, I believe, than in the first wave, but I like having the art of the Inazuma equipped simply because I can kill more enemies at a single time. So this took God knows how many tries. Been doing it all day long it took me, and I got here earlier this afternoon, and now it's almost midnight. So that's how long this took, developing a strategy. I tried this so many times with so many different variables, and what you see now is the best that I could come up with. So that last energy ball, it won't hit you, but now we're on Ishtaros, and some people like to counter-attack her and press square, square, triangle. I just never got very good at that. So you're going to see me pause right away and equip the armlet of celerity, because when she's doing her rope swing in the background, that's your chance to start charging up your gleaming blade attack and doing some heavy damage to this bitch. Her whip, it seems like you can never even get out of her whip attacks. It's really bad, and that attack right there that she does. She throws like a column of, or not a column, but like so here, see, without the celerity band, I probably wouldn't have been able to get off. You really need to get the celerity band to expedite your charge when she's doing her rope swing. Sometimes you will get unfortunate, and she'll knock you out of your stance. So right there, even though I didn't get the UT properly, I still released the charge, or the almost charge to hit her anyway. So right as she is about to cast that purple magic where it's a bunch of like lines coming at you, I did succeed in getting her with the flying swallow a couple times. So you see I'm charging right away, and I got what I would consider like a small gleaming blade attack with the blue essence charge. And then got another flying swallow, and I've seen people really own this bitch with counterattacking, but I just never got good at it. So I'm dropping Nimpo. Most of the time when I'm dropping Nimpo, it's just because I'm getting nervous and I don't want to get grabbed like that. So as she's swinging, remember to charge this up, and then I always drop Nimpo again, or try to at least, so I couldn't get it in right there. Because all these enemies are grab happy, so you gotta account for that. She deals less damage than does Nichi, so be fortunate for that. So let's see if I can get her. Nope, didn't get a red charge off. Haven't got interrupted yet. You normally want to stand like towards the right corner of the screen and then charge your blade up. So another blue attack. So I've been familiar with this bitch for a while on the mission mode challenges, except that there it was on normal difficulty and it wasn't even a challenge really in hindsight. But this is definitely a fucking challenge. So right there, I fly swallowed her. I'm like, okay, I have pretty good health. I have a talisman of rebirth, so I'm looking pretty good. That's what I was thinking, but I was nervous as hell. So I equipped the armlet of the moon. Because I am going to be using this blade to deal with Marbus, as well as the art of the Inazuma. So, Marbus, if you've encountered this guy in Sigma 2, he does like a spiral twirl at you. It normally occurs after he throws these projectiles at you. So just block, and then dodge at the last second, and then roll again. And I did the Azuna drop there, but I would recommend the square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle combo on him when he's grounded. Because if you do succeed in dodging the spiral twirl, he will give you a few seconds to hit him, and it's a great opportunity to hit him. So that's your reward for dodging correctly, If you don't dodge correctly, however, you don't get any free shots on him, plus you get damaged pretty heavily. So I would recommend Azuna dropping these guys. See, I dealt a little damage to Marbus, actually, if you're close enough, and I wasn't even counting on that, nor do I ever depend on that. But you can get interrupted while you're Azuna dropping if he decides to fly at you. But if you're at the very end of the animation, you're completely invincible. But it's just getting to that point right there. So just block when he... Okay, so the only real move I'm looking for him to do is that spiral twirl move, just like I did in Sigma 2. So I'm just... occasionally I'll try to fly swallow him or do the Azuna drop, but I don't push my luck too far whatsoever. So right there, that's the move I'm looking for. I got it right there, but I had a lackey still in the picture, so I couldn't really do much. When he slams into the ground, that's really not a good opportunity to hit him, although if you're close to him, you get in a couple of hits. So he should be doing that spiral twirl right here, so just block, and you constantly have to reset the camera because there's very poor camera angles here, although it is unfixed camera. So that's another issue. On the other, the bitch boss battles, those are all fixed camera, so his is unfixed. So you really kind of got to adjust at the end here. So I got really jacked right there by that sliding imp. So I would just say to Azuna drop. See, I was trying to Azuna drop the imp, and he interrupted me because I wasn't far enough along in the process of that combo. So it's friendly fire, so that imp got hit and then dodged at the last second, and then unfortunately that imp was still around, so I had to hit him, and then he's going to throw his other projectiles. Now let's see if he does that move. Awesome. Reset the camera, dodge at the last second, roll to him, and then do square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle. And there is one point where I got really greedy, and it was on purpose, because if you linger or loiter too long around him when he's down, like right now, see how I'm going to... if you loiter around too much right over here, then he will grab you, and it does significant damage. But there was a point where I said, to hell with it. I got a Talisman of Rebirth. I got some backup. I'm just going to keep hitting him, and I did get grabbed. So, I don't know, maybe that's something positive to look for, at least to show people what not to do. But I definitely got greedy on purpose. So right there, I was able to get a Chain and Essence attack on him, and it dealt a little bit of damage. So... right there, I was just double checking to make sure I had that Talisman of Rebirth. This is so intense and terrifying. I can't even describe it. So right there, that's greed in its most purest form, and I have no excuses for doing that, because that's the reason I checked to make sure. I checked to see if I had Talisman of Rebirth, and then I was saying to myself mentally, okay, I got one. I'm going to get greedy. I don't care if I get grabbed, because I'm just going to get all my life back and all my mana back too. So just keep Azuna dropping these guys. Keep dodging. Keep blocking his attacks when he comes in. And then hopefully when he does his charge, again, right there when he's charging horizontally at you, you can block that, but I would just recommend dodging at the last second. So I got in a red combo there, dropped some essence just because I was terrified and worried. Was relieved to see that other essence drop on the ground, and then he's going to throw some more projectiles, coming for the twirl, and it's nice that there's no lackeys here, so this is almost to the point where I'm going to finish him off. Maybe I do. I finished him off, and I was jumping for joy here. This is fucking hard. I've never done anything so hard in this game, nor have I ever played a game as difficult as this. This is a true challenge. So now I'm going to head back to the save point and definitely save my progress and go back down and start grinding for money, because there's another wave of bosses coming up that we need to deal with. So the difficult times, while they were ameliorated there somewhat, they are going to keep intensifying to the point where we're going to be facing the final boss pretty soon and dealing with some really difficult foes. So now you want to hit the safe statue and use the deity that we acquired from that huge gauntlet. And so there are 2 bosses left on this stage. We're still on chapter 19. I have equipped the Dabalacro. We are facing the ultimate version of Alma up here once you get up these stairs. It's a extremely strange battle, but all you need to know is that you can't fall off this platform, and the area where you need to hit her are varied areas. They are, you see the blue jewels on her breasts and on her shoulders and on her arms. Those are the areas where you need to hit her. And when she starts shooting those beams all around the room, it's very hard to dodge them. So I would recommend just casting Nimpo to immune yourself from getting hit, and also equip the Armlet of the Sun to expedite everything to hit more damage. So it's very hard to control this block, and it's I feel a really odd and unnecessary battle. But she does go down pretty quickly, especially with this Dabalacro. And you see she got in a pretty good hit right there. But if you've done well so far, so basically what you needed to do after that huge gauntlet that we did was go back and refill all your inventory, which is exactly what I did. And it's going to make this boss, the next boss, and Dark Mirai a piece of cake. So here's the Devil Fiend here, and obviously he's across a pool of lava, so you need to equip your strongbow or your explosive arrows or your cores. Now, when all these skulls come at you, it's a great opportunity to start casting the Art of the Inazuma to destroy them all and prevent yourself from getting grabbed by the skull head. So what's going on here is that you need to shoot these skulls off this fiend's body, and then start shooting the red meat underneath, and that does more damage. So it's really unfortunate that yet again we have a counter, and I don't know how the hell I got killed right there. I think he jumped on me from afar, but so when you run out of ammunition, just switch to the next thing. You could even, I think you can throw incendiary shurikens as well, if he's close enough. But the main weapons you need to use are the strongbow, the explosive arrows, and the cores. Those, now if you have all 15 of each, those 45 shots should be more than sufficient to kill this guy. And you could even cast Nimpo. You see, in a moment I'll be casting the Art of the Inazuma when I get some more things flying at me. And the Nimpo actually finishes this guy off. So right over here, he just goes down right here. Well, almost there. Anyway, so you do want to preserve your Nimpo and things like that. So that is the core level, and the next level is 19. So there's no stores or anything, so you need to have not wasted too many things. But Dark Mirai doesn't require that many items. So I got the Master Ninja ranking. That was really good.